Hello, my name is Dr. Viola Pierce. Welcome to Morning Infusion with Dr. V. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to go from being depressed to living your life's purpose? Well, my name is Dr. Viola Pierce. I'm the owner and the CEO of VP Nursing and the Nurse Nurturer and the facilitators of Secret Recipients Worldwide with Dr. V, where our goal is to teach nurses to leverage the knowledge that they already know working from their computers anywhere around the world, making money and owning their own time. Our goal is to come to you each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to give you the fuel to crush your goals and to show up exceptional on a daily basis. Know that one of the goals of Morning Infusion with Dr. V is to expose you to leaders that have overcome so that you know that the possibilities are endless. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and leave a comment if you were ever told that you would not succeed. And remember to click the calendar link above if you want to create another stream of income and enroll in our 12-week course, VP Nursing Business Academy. Our special guest today is Shaniqua Johnson. So thank you for joining us. Shaniqua has been a registered nurse for 20 years. She holds a master's degree in nursing and healthcare education. She is a dualpreneur. She is CEO of A Better You LLC, where through her coaching and training program, she helps busy women who are tired, overwhelmed, and burnt out reconnect with themselves so that they can continue to serve 100% without subtracting anything from themselves. She is also the CEO of Stronger Through Faith Publishing, where she helps people tell their stories and build their literacy legacy. She is also an international motivational speaker and best-selling author. She has written 7 solo book products and 4 collaborative book products. So welcome. Thank you for being here. So now, what was your primary reasoning for becoming a nurse?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Well, I've always wanted to help people. Just from
Okay.
being a little girl, I've always wanted to help people. And I always joke to say, if this nursing thing don't work out, I was going to be a math teacher. Because nursing gets hard. Those classes don't be playing with them. I used to always joke about that. However, it was just a calling that I had. And I called from very, very young, started in high school, went to a vocational high school, did CNA there. And so like my trajectory was set to just become a nurse. And I've loved every minute of it.
Well, did you like math like that? Because most people they veer away from math.
The funny thing is with math, it's like I was just innately good at it. I didn't like it was just good at it. It just came to me. So that was always my fallback. I haven't had to become a math teacher yet, so I'm doing pretty good, Sin.
Well, I bet you it helps you in your business because most people, as far as budgeting and doing things and the profit and loss sheets, a lot of people have a hard time with that. So, that's a good thing to have in your business for sure. So what is some advice you would give someone that is embarking on nursing for the first time?
Listen, if it's not in your calling, don't do it. Don't do it because you have to have the passion because it's hard. It's hard to see people sick and ailing, and sometimes we don't know what's wrong with it. We have to try things out. Difficult job. People get in for the wrong reasons. So I would absolutely say if you really love people, you love to serve wholeheartedly, then I say go for it. But otherwise, you're going to end up just wasting a lot of time because it's hard. It's hard.
So your picture has went out. I don't know what happened there, but can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? Can you hear me now?
Something happened with the sound.
Okay. So, can you hear me? Can you see me?
Are you serious?
So what we're going to do is we're going to continue. And one of the things that she was talking about as it relates to nursing, the reality is that nursing is what it is. And, you know, going into nursing and making sure that it is your calling. And sometimes even if it is not your calling, making sure that you are able to go into nursing and ensure that you are there to serve. That is one of the biggest things that I've had to learn with nursing. And that's one of the things you have to learn in business as well. You have to learn that you are serving. Serving is the most important piece of it. And understanding that in that service, you find some amazing things. And that's what we're built to do, right? We're
Something
built to
happened with the
serve.
sound. I'm not hearing.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is hold on. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. How's the sound with me?
So it's better. It's much, much better now.
Yes. I don't know what that was about, but at one point I could not hear you. My apologies for that.
That's okay. That's okay. You came back much stronger. So we're in the good business.
Okay,
So
good.
one of the things that I was just expounding on was what you said about the advice of going into nursing for the first time. Is that
Yes.
you're in a service, you're in a business of service, right? And you want to make sure that you are servicing your clients. You know, I didn't go into nursing because it was my calling. I went into nursing because my mom said that that's what I had to do, right? She didn't
Mm-hmm.
really say that's what I had to do, but she just gave it as an example of things that I could do. She was like, yeah, no. She was like, this is what we need to, you know, we're not sending you to a 4-year school. So I'm going to need for you to figure out what we're going
Yes.
to do. And it was one of the most lucrative because I wanted to initially because I thought, well, how much money can I make? You know, what's the biggest bang for my buck? And
Mm-hmm.
that's, I think a lot of people do, but then they get in there and then they think, you know,
Start
this is not
rethinking it. Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. It can be tough for sure. So now you said that you had pressure having an image and a role that you were not aligning with. Tell us what you meant by that.
So years ago, I found myself. I was at the height of my career. I was working. I had my children. I had my husband. Life was going pretty well for me. I mean, everything seemed to be going really, really smooth. And then one day, I remember in particular, I looked in the mirror and I no longer see me. I didn't see me. So like as you see me now, like I'm bright, I'm bubbly, I've got this glow, and I always say it's my internal glow. It has nothing to do with the lighting. But there was a time in my life when I didn't see that. When I looked in the mirror, it was blur. I was working, so I was everybody's nurse. I had little children, so I was the mom. I was married, so I was the wife. So I totally lost my own identity. I don't know when it happened or why it happened, but somehow out of me serving and wanting to be there for everybody, I lost sight of myself. And that led to me being depressed. It got to the point where I was speaking to my doctors and they wanted to put me on medications. And some of the medications that they were testing out on me made me have side effects. And my hands started to shake. And that scared me. It literally scared me. It said, wait a second, Shaniqua, you're not taking care of yourself. And now you're manifesting these physical symptoms based off of you not spending a little bit of time on yourself. So I had to stop taking the medicine because my hands are my business. I mean, you don't want a nurse coming over to you to give you an injection and she's got the shakes. That's not a good look. So I said, you know what? I have to start understanding me more. I have to start listening to me more. And that's how I've connected with the women that I served. I know all about being tired and overworked and really just grinding hard for your family. But then sometimes you have to remember, you have to stop and take care of you, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. We've heard that saying time and time again. So we want people to make sure that they are serving. You can serve 100% to the world. Give them everything you got, but not at the expense of you. So that's what I had to learn. That was a major. When I looked in the mirror, I saw a gray blur. I
Come
didn't
on
see my
now. Come
shapely
on.
eyes. I didn't see my high cheekbones. I didn't see any of my features that I know and love. I saw a gray blur. I no longer identified with Shaniqua. I was mom, wife, nurse, nurse, nurse. I had become what everybody else was calling me, and I was neglecting myself. And I ended up suffering from that.
I
But I
love it. I love it. And that's one of the things that I talk about as well a lot. I don't know if you've ever watched before, but I tell about the time when my little girl, she's cute as she wants to be. She was 2 years old, right? And so she's 24 now. So she was 2 years old at the time, and we went on this plane trip. We went in New Orleans, right? And we were on this plane. This was the second time I done rode on a plane ever in my life, right? We get on this plane, and I get up there, and the lady says, if the oxygen mask dropped, then I want you to put the oxygen mask on yourself first. And I thought she done lost her mind. She done
exactly.
lost.
I
She
wish
lost her
she
mind.
could.
She don't understand all that
Yes,
round ligament pain, all that
yes,
nausea, all I had to go through for
yes,
this child. I'm gonna put an oxygen mask on her first, and then I'm gonna put
yes.
an oxygen mask on myself. But what I didn't realize at the time
Mhm.
was that if I don't put the oxygen mask on myself first, I leave her flailing. If you
Yep,
don't put the oxygen mask on yourself first, you
yep,
leave your family, you leave your
yep,
patients, you leave
yep.
everybody flailing. They cannot do it without you. And that's one of the things that I'm very passionate about, pouring from your salsa, right? Making
Yep,
sure that you
yes.
fill your cup, it overflows into your
Overflow.
salsa.
Yes,
And then you can pour from your salsa so that you don't deplete yourself. So I love it. I
absolutely,
love it. So we're in
absolutely.
the business. So now there was a moment in time when you suffered from depression. What were some of the things that you did that were effective in battling the depression?
Well, I'm a woman of faith. I just put the disclaimer out there, and that's what helped me. That's what helped me. I had to get in tune to what God was saying about me. And
Mm,
once I did that, I started to hear God and what He was saying to me. Yes, people can call you by your titles. You can be called nurse and mom and teacher and this and that. That's fine. But what God calls you is what is the point. That's the relevance in our life. And once I started to seek after that relevance, I finally learned that I'm as important as the kids are. I'm as important as the husband. I'm as important as the patients. Because we're always trained as nurses, it's all about the patient. But what happens when you are now the patient? When you're now suffering from depression, when you're now manifesting symptoms. I had migraines. I was suffering from bad migraines. So now you become the patient. What are you going to do? Who's going to wait on you? Who's going to help you? And sometimes that person that's going to take care of you is you. So with me strengthening my faith muscles, I learned to take care of myself. And it's not selfish. It's fact, it is necessary for everybody else's well-being.
that's
My
right.
children need a healthy mom, right?
Hmm.
My patients, my clients that I serve, they need me to be healthy. And I'm doing them no service. I'm doing an injustice to them when I'm not taking care of myself. So now I make sure that I'm eating right. I told you that I've gone vegan. I'm about 90% vegan. Why? It's not because it's a trend. It's not because I heard it's the right thing to do. No, it's what feels good to me and what's going to give me the energy and the fuel to keep doing what it is that I'm called to do. We're all called to serve. We're nurses, for goodness sakes. We're the most trustworthy profession that there is. Why on earth are you not taking care of yourself?
I love it. I love it. And and one of the things that that I'm very, very aware of is the fact that, we many times we don't look at the Bible, because I used to look at the Bible, and first of all, I was fairly confused by it. And then I had to learn how to read it, right?
Yes.
And one of the things that I'm very sure of is that, and I gained this from John Maxwell, because he has a leadership Bible. And so he
Okay.
takes the leadership principles that he has in his books. He literally takes those leadership principles from the Bible. And so he
Hmm.
has a Bible in which, like, you can click, if you're inside the the hardcover, right? You can go into the Bible, and then it has the little subsets of his leadership principles. If you have the electronic version, then you're able to click on that
Hmm.
little space, and then go to where his leadership principle is. And what I learned from that is that the Bible is just about leadership. Every leadership principle that
Sure
we have
is.
ever had, they come from the
Mhm.
Bible, right? Everything that God says about us comes from the Bible, right? So you're fearfully and wonderfully made. You're the head and not the tail, right? You are the
Exactly.
lender and not the borrower, right? Those are the things that come from the Bible, right? And so the more that we
Yes.
speak, it's power of life and death in the tongue. And the more that we speak those things, then the better our lives will be. Because we are the ones
Absolutely.
who
We need
speak
a
that life.
strong foundation.
That's
Have
right.
it. Have a strong foundation.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, what is some of the advice you would give someone who is battling depression right now?
Well, what I would explain to people is like recognize what's really going on with you. Recognize it, be honest with yourself. A lot of times we spend a lot of time, that's not happening to me. That's something you can identify. You can identify it in a patient like that, no problem. You can see it with when they walk in the door, you know that they're suffering from depression. Why don't you eyes? Like take a good look at yourself and be honest with yourself. And then figure out what it is that you need. Don't try to do this on your own. If you need help of a doctor, reach out to doctors. And that's what I went to one of the doctors that I worked with. Like it wasn't even like me going as an official patient. Like I just pulled her to the side and said, listen, I need to talk to you, like, because I don't feel right. Something is going on with me, and I just need some friendly advice. And they were able to guide me. They said, "Come, let's see what we can do, how it can help." So I reached out to a doctor. So I always say, go for some medical advice, and then listen to what your body saying. If you need rest, take the time to rest. I know we like to do 12-hour shifts. We grind and we busting it out. Yeah, I remember all of that those days. But guess what? To what's the expense? What's the expense of you doing a 12-hour shift? We love it because it gives us an extra day off. However, what is it doing to your body? What is it
That's
doing to your
right.
body? So I would tell people to listen to their body, because your body give you clues. Your body tells you when you need to rest. Your body tells you when you need more, right? We get thirsty when it's time for us to hydrate ourselves. So our body will leave us clues. It will tell us what it is that we need to do in order to get ourselves back on track. So I just say to people, please listen. Pay attention to your body and listen to what it is that you need. And don't feel bad when you have to take a moment for yourself. I get up extra early in the morning. My 9 to 5 job does start till 9 a.m. Okay. But I get up extra early. I was up at 6:30 in the morning. Why? So I can start taking care of myself. I get up in the morning, I do my facial, I drink my water, I take my vitamin supplements, I read my word. Like I start my day paying attention to me, running around, figuring out where the kids need to be at what time. Nope. I start my day with me. It's the first fruit concept, right? Where the Lord says you got to give the first fruit. So that's me tithing to myself. So my hours that I get, my waking hours that I get, I spend the very first portion of that on myself. So I would recommend that each and every person does that. Yeah, I know you get up early, you got to be to work early, but how about you get up a little bit extra earlier so you can devote that time to you?
My husband is he's watching. He said it's not what you're called, it's what you answer to. And he said self-promotion is great. And Stormy said, hey Stormy. But I want to expound on what you just said about getting up early, because I get up at 4 a.m. every morning. And I get up that time of morning because I want to be sure that I am pouring into myself. I want to make sure that I'm putting the armor on myself, because what I used to do is I literally used to roll out of bed and the shower would wake me up. Okay. And then I would be tore out the frame for the rest of the day. Ain't nobody got time for that foolishness. so,
Right, right,
so,
exactly.
so
Because
now
you
I'm,
get flustered. Like now your day is flustered, you're rushed, your head is spinning, you're trying to remember why. Why? When you can just give yourself, aren't you worth it?
yes,
If the
absolutely.
hospital asked you to work an extra shift, you would do it, right? For the money. So what about you paying some extra, do an extra shift for yourself so that you can reap the benefits of some sanity? Ain't
That's
nothing
right.
like some good old fashioned sanity. I'm telling you, the mind. You
I
you can't
love
you
it. I
can't put a
love it.
price tag to peace of mind.
I love it. Now you said that you had to think of a non-traditional way of making money. What were some of the things that came to your mind when you were thinking of those non-traditional ways of making money?
I wrote a book. I'm a registered nurse and I started writing. I wrote my first book, I Didn't Know Strength, How My Faith Moved My Mountains, in 2015. I was actually going through a struggle while I was writing that book. A lot of people you hear about them writing books when they've come out and they're in the rainbow of things. But I was learning the lesson as I was writing that book. So I learned something totally new about myself. God showed me so much about me when I trusted Him to write the book. And from there, He put me in a position where I was training health coaches. And every week I would have a new class, and I wouldn't even have to say anything to them. We would just start talking, and they would say, "Wow, you you should write that in the book." And I'm like, I did. What? And they became my best clients, like, and they benefited so much from having me there. And the Lord had to show me, like, girl, you are more impactful, more powerful than you really give yourself credit for. People do want to hear what you have to say, because that's the reason why most people don't write books, is because they think, oh, who's gonna who want to listen to. God has given us dominion over a certain set of people, and He will bring you to those people who need to hear what you're going through. The one of the reasons I'm a firm believer of the reason why I went through that bout of depression is because I'm called to serve people who have that same experience. So I don't shy away from it, but I recognize it. And not saying that I'm healed, set free from it. No, but I recognize it. I know when depression is tapping on my shoulder. I can see it. And it's totally now up to me whether I welcome it in, or if I you got to go somewhere else right now. And then I start implementing what the strategies that I've learned. So finding ways, non-traditional ways for a nurse to make money, it was writing a book. It was writing a book. And you get to now put the service that you give to others in a book, and it can go
I
all over
love
the
it.
world.
I love it. Makiba is actually Stormy on. She's one of my friends, and so she is saying so inspiring. And she just wrote a book herself. It's called Reflections of a Nurse. And so I love it. I love it that you guys are writing books and making books. And you yourself, you have written 7 books. So, what is some advice that you would give someone who's trying to write their book for the first time?
Listen, I say go with your heart. And one of the key tips that I always give to people, they get overwhelmed. When they think about writing a book, people always go with, I want to write my life story. Child, you've been alive for 40 years and you're trying to compile it all in one book. You're going to overwhelm yourself. Don't overwhelm yourself. Take it in small bites. Talk about one portion of your life at a time. Guaranteed people gonna come back for more. You tell them about your roaring 20s, or what you did when you were in your teenage years. You're gonna get them in, and they're gonna want to see more and listen to more that you have to say. So you can create a series of books on your life rather than overwhelming yourself and try to put it all in one book. So I always say break down into smaller segments. Another tip that I give people is start with what you know. Start with what you know. One thing that, say, if you were in a party, right? If you were in a party and someone, say, hey, tell me something good. What's that one thing that you can go on and on and on for
Off
hours
the
about?
top, off the
That's your
top of
book.
your head.
That's your book. Off the top of your head. You don't have to do no research about it. You got it on speed dial in your head. So that thing is what your first book should be about. One of my clients, she wanted to write this autobiography. She wanted to tell her story, and she got so overwhelmed with it. And when I told her that, she helps people do nonprofits. And I told her, I called her one day out of the blue, and I said, why don't you start with a nonprofit book?
Mm-hmm.
You can tell people about starting nonprofits at the drop of a dime. And so she put the tell all book on hold, and she has now cranked out 4 books, helped her take the topic, break it down, spin it around, go back. Like, so I helped her to do all of that. Now she's got 4 books. Where it was before, she would have been stuck trying to write book 1 because she was trying to put everything in one book. So eventually, I'm sure she'll get back to that. But guess what? She's now built up her motivation. She's built up her courage. She knows that she can write, and now it's going to be easier for her.
I love it. I love it.
And she's
Makiba
making
said,
money in the process.
I know. That's right. Makiba said, wow,
Yep.
7 books. Congratulations. And then my husband said, I told you to write a book, laugh out loud. Um, so you have a publishing company. Like you done took it to the next
Yes.
level. I love it. So why did you decide
Yes.
to create your own publishing company?
Well, because God kept giving me, when I was obedient. See, this is what happens when you're obedient. The floodgates open up. So I was obedient and wrote the first book. The floodgates opened up for more concepts, more ideas. I just, like, it was like a flood. I could not contain it. And I said, God, what am I going to do? How am I going to put all of these books? And he says, do you trust me for more? I said, absolutely. I'm trusting you for the more, but I need to know how I'm going to get this done. And he connected me with someone who said to me, it was like the weirdest thing. Like, we don't even know each other like that. And she just said to me, she's like, why don't you start your own publishing company? And I was like, huh, you can do that? I had no clue. And I literally learned the job as I was doing it and trusted in God. And I tested it out on myself. So when I was able to produce my own books, and I was like, wow, this looks great. God said, I was excited. And God was like, you think that I gave you all of this so that you use all your own stuff? No, you have to serve. God gives you so that you can serve to others. So I said, well, who's going to want me to publish their books? Like, I'm just getting started. And he would literally put people in my spirit. I went to one of my clients in her D. I hit her up in the DM, and I was like, when are you going to write your book? And she says, how do you know I was going to write a book? I don't know. The Lord just told me to ask you when you was going to write your book and to tell you that I have a publishing company. And she was like, whoa. And that's how I secured my first client. So God has been good to me. I've cranked out several authors under Stronger Through Faith Publishing. We're a family. So it's Stronger Through Faith Publishing family. rock together. Even after the book is published, we still rock together. We support each other. We encourage each other. And we're still connected. And it has been a blessing in my life. So if anybody is thinking about it, come to the family. Come to the family. Let the family take care of you. Let mama take care of you. I hold hand through the process, and I teach you because I'm a teacher by nature. I'm a speaker teacher by nature. So I always teach people the process. So as you're getting it done, you're learning about it. But if one day you want to do it on your own, you can do it on your own. And I actually offer those services as well, that I could support you if you want to do this on. If you want to start your own publishing company, you want to produce your own books, you don't want to stand around looking like, what am I supposed to do? You want to speed this process up. Come on to Stronger Through Faith Publishing. We got you. We got you.
I
But
love
it's
it.
been
I
a
love it.
blessing. It honestly has been a blessing.
Makiba said that she was going to have to contact you. This is exactly what I have in my head to do. So I have to put you two together. Makiba's pretty amazing. So I love it that I will be able to connect the two of you. I love that, love that, love that. Now, where can the audience find you?
Listen, my website is shaniquajohnson.com. If you're interested in faith publishing, it's strongerthroughfaith.com. I'm all over social media. I make a living out of being on social media. So you can find me on social media, Shaniqua Johnson RN. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. And I'm just now getting into Clubhouse. So you can find me on at Shaniqua Johnson. Listen, I'm just here trying to spread the word. God has been so good and so gracious to me. How dare I keep that to myself?
That's right.
And I don't want to keep it to myself, because I want to be able to release more and more and more to people. So whatever I learn, whatever God gives me, I share so that I can get more and keep sharing. It's just a cycle of life.
I love it. I love it. I love it. It's reciprocal for sure. Well, thank you
Yes.
for showing up. You are amazing, even more amazing than I originally thought. So I'm loving that we are now connected. My name is Dr. Viola Pierce. I'm the owner and the CEO of VP Nursing and the Nurse Nurturant, and the facilitators of Secret Suppers Worldwide with Dr. V, where our goal is to teach nurses to leverage the knowledge that they already know, working from their computers around the world, making money and owning their own time. Our goal is to come to you each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to give you the fuel to crush your goals and to show up exceptional on a daily basis. Know that one of the goals of Morning Infusion with Dr. V is to expose you to leaders such as Shaniqua Johnson that have overcome, so that you know that the possibilities are endless. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and leave a comment if you were ever told that you would not succeed. And remember to click the calendar link above if you want to create another stream of income and enroll in our 12-week course, VP Nursing Business Academy. You guys have a phenomenal rest of your day.